Hello, my lovelies, and welcome back. I have today a Rock Lee X reader, and I swear to God, I found the holy grail of Rock Lee X reader one shots. Although there's like there's only one, two, three, like four of them, but they're written by ILikeLeeVeryMuch on Wattpad. And the first one is called Rock Lee X Reader Unrequited Love. It's a considerably long one, and I haven't read through it, so we're gonna go on this train ride together. Let's hope I don't, not do this very well and, crash and burn. Anyways, the music I will be playing is a lo-fi or lo-fi, I don't know how to say it. I'm gonna say lo-fi and anime, anime, lo-fi, hip-hop, and chill beats mix 2020. Ha, joke's on you, it's 2021. Alrighty, let's get into it. Sakura, hold on, let me try that again. Sakura, please go on a date with me. Konoha's infamous, handsome green beast desperately pleaded with a pinkette, the passion in his eyes burning brighter than 1,000 flames. She looked at Lee with less enthusiasm, probably figuring out a way to decline him without breaking his delicate heart. Lee had been completely smitten by Sakura ever since he first laid eyes on her, desperately trying to capture her heart, only to fail with each attempt. Sakura only had eyes for one person, and that was for Sasuke Uchiha. She is impressively even more smitten than Lee is, abidedly. Sakura's method for seducing Sasuke is a little less direct. Yet, this is why she made you so angry. It's like she doesn't even have to try, and Leah's already falling to her feet, completely smitten. Now, you didn't hate Sakura after all. It's not her fault that Lee is hopelessly in love, but you still envied her. You yourself had a huge, massive crush on Lee, but it broke your heart every time he would pour his love and affection into Sakura only to get shunned. And that was exactly what just happened. Sakura turned down Lee as politely as she possibly could, while you watched from your hiding place behind an old oak fence close by. A downcast frown slowly morphed onto Lee's face as he watched her walk away before slowly morphing into a determined smile. "I'll win your affection one day, Sakura. Just you wait," he exclaimed, pumping his fists up and down in the air exaggeratedly before leaping into the air, clambering onto the roofs until he was out of sight. You watched him go before getting out from under the fence, a depressed frown seeping onto your cheeks. Why did Lee have to fall in love with Sakura? It's so frustrating, being in love with someone who could never see you in the same way. Alone with your depressing thoughts, you slowly trudged downtown to grab a bite to eat. Whenever you got stressed, you also got hungry, and eating always calmed down your nerves. Maybe you should give Ichiraku's, I can't say, I suck at pronouncing, I apologize, a try. After all, Naruto is always bragging about how delicious the ramen was. Not long after you arrived into town, a noticeable ninja clad in green came running up to you at the speed of light. "YN, what a surprise it is to run into you. Lee?" Shocked was your first reaction when you saw him approach. Stray strands of black locks fell into his face after rushing to catch up. He beamed at you as a soft blush gently dusted your cheeks. "I was just about to grab something to eat. Would you care to join me?" he asked, gently lifting the strands of hair that had fallen onto his face and tucking them neatly behind into the rest of his hair. He was just too precious. Blinking a few times, you stare at him incredulously. Did he just say what you think he said? It couldn't be. Was he asking you on a date? But no, what about Sakura? You rubbed your eyes vigorously before staring at him again, eyes slightly red. There was no way this was possible. Lee only had eyes for Sakura. If he asked you out to eat, it would only be in a friend way. Slapping yourself in the face a couple times, you turned to Lee and agreed to his offer. It was better to be friends with Lee than have no Lee at all. Alright, I know the perfect place. Let's go to eat Chiraku's. I can't even. I apologize. I'm trying. The two of you arrived, sat down and ordered while you waited for the food. You couldn't help but feel Lee staring a hole into the side of your head the whole time. Turning to face him, the two of you made eye contact for a split second before he turned to face forward, embarrassed at being caught. Was Lee alright? You've never seen him act like this before. Lee, is something wrong? You seem out of it. He turned to face you, a slight tint of red coloring his cheeks. Tell me your name. Why do I feel so different around you? I swear, this never used to happen before. When I'm around you, my heart speeds up, and it feels like it's going to burst. I break out in a cold sweat, and my words fail me. I never know what to say. Tell me, why is this happening? He shifted his eyes to you so they meet yours in a stare, waiting anxiously for your response, but one never came. He had unintentionally broken you. What did all this mean? Does it mean he likes you? But Sakura! His feelings for her couldn't have changed that quickly. You continued to stare blankly at him while he fidgeted. Not obviously not used to your unresponsive state. It's different from the way I feel about Sakura. Turning his attention to the table as the food was served, 2 bowls of freshly made ramen. That's what seemed to snap you out of it. If what he felt for you wasn't love, then what was it? He obviously loves Sakura, of course. What he feels for you, you wouldn't even compare to her. Then, what was it? Hatred? Was he absolutely seething in rage whenever he was around you, that his heart popped a blood vessel? Did he get so mad he couldn't even speak without holding back insults? Was he only pretending to be nice this whole time? Only to deceive you and break your heart? Just the thought of it caused you to get mad, a huge lump in your throat as you tried to hold back the tears welling up in your eyes. I get it. Stabbing a fork into your ramen viciously, swirling noodles around in a circle before where was I? Swirling the noodles around in a circle before bringing it to your lips slowly, swallowing gently. You lean forward into your food as Lee tries to catch a glimpse of your face. You hate me. The words slipping past your lips caused a great amount of hurt to wash over you, while Lee was waving his hands in distress. No, your name. You misunderstand. It's nothing like that. I actually think You don't have to sugarcoat it. If you hate me, then just say it. Pretending to be my friend, actually getting me to care about you. I'm so sick of it. Sick of you. I can't believe I actually fell in love with you. You trailed off, realizing you just had what you had just admitted to. A huge blush covered your face quickly as you stood up, slapping the payment for your meal down onto the table before rushing out in a hurry. He just stared at you, his mouth wide open in shock as he tried to process what happened. You had just admitted you loved him. The thought of that made Lee's chest explode with a newfound happiness, a smile pushing its way onto his face. Wait, but she thought he hated her. Where did she ever come to that conclusion? Lee backtracked through the conversation in his head before realizing how you could have mistook it. Oh no, this is bad. Lee needed to apologize to you stat and tell you how he actually felt. not long after Lee had arrived at your door, banging on it ferociously. When you saw him, you immediately ducked behind your cabinet and turned off the lights. Maybe if he thought you weren't home, he'd go away. What a coward you were. But you didn't have the guts to face him right now. What were you even going to say? You basically admitted to his face you were in love with him. Peering through the curtain, you caught a glimpse of green before you ducked down to hide again. Nope. Maybe if you changed your name and ran off to another village, he would forget all about you, and you could live happily in a little apartment far away from everyone while regretting all your life choices. Your name, are you in there? Your name, please, come out! His desperate voice made you feel slightly guilty for trying to ghost him. But there was no other way to... You were going out there. Slowly sneaking to the back door, you unlocked it quickly and hightailed it before he saw you. You decided to walk around the village and clear your head. The sun was slowly setting down the horizon as you walked, staring up at the beautiful sky. Okay, so maybe you had overreacted a little, but what else could he have meant? If he didn't feel the same way for you that he did Sakura, then what else was it? Your name! A voice called you, snapping you from your thoughts. Slowly turning around, you were surprised to see Tententen, one of Lee's teammates. Hey, Tententen! You casually responded, scratching the back of your neck as she stopped in front of you, carefully brushing the dirt from her clothes as she looked up and shot you a soft smile. The others and I were going to the hot springs to wind down and relax, you know? And I was wondering if you wanted to come with. Looking at Tententen apologetically, he tried to turn her down. I'm sorry, Tententen, but I'm not in the mood. Ah! Oh, ah! Come on, your name. You look so stressed. Come with us. It'll help you relax and take your mind off whatever is bothering you. Feeling defeated, you had no choice but to begrudgingly accept her offer as she dragged you by the hand to the hot springs. Your name! Lee cried out for the last time, his pounding on your door becoming less persistent. Maybe it was true that you weren't home, but where could you be this late at night? Sweat began to form on Lee's brow as he wiped it away with his bandaged hand. The worry for your well-being flooding through his mind. Just as he was thinking about breaking the door down, Naruto came running up from behind him, interrupting his train of thought. Oi, bushy brow! We're all going to the hot springs. Wanna come? I'm sorry, Naruto, but I will not be able to join you. I'm still looking for your name. Naruto smirked at Lee, putting a hand on his chin. If she's not at home, she's probably already there. Come on! Naruto stated, grabbing a hold of Lee by the collar and pulling him along. Ah! Naruto! When Lee and Naruto had arrived to the hot spring, everyone was already there, soaking and relaxing in the hot water. Lee pulled off his towel before slipping in with a sigh, the hot water melting the tension in his muscles. He then heard girls' giggles from the other side, and was able to distinguish her voice apart from the others. Oh, your name is over there. I have to speak to her. Lee shouted, scrambling out of the water in his hurry. Naruto shot him a look of disbelief as Neji and Shikamaru facepalmed. What are you talking about, idiot? You can't go over there. Kiba scolded from the water. Once Lee realized what he implied, his whole face went bright red. Oh, right. I wasn't thinking. He would have to see you after. And this time he was determined that you wouldn't run away. He wouldn't let you. Speaking of which, who do you think has the bigger boobs? Naruto replied cheekily, a smirk appearing on his face. Everyone looked at him incredulous, before Kiba joined in. Hinata, for sure. She's pretty well endowed. Neji splurted and looked around at Kiba with shouting gun. You shouldn't talk about other people in such a degrading way. We're just gonna say it's not. Oh, derogatory way, he scolded, closing his eyes and laying his head against the edge of the pool. But Now that we're on the subject, Tenten has a pretty nice figure. Oh! Kiba and Naruto hollered in surprise, not expecting Neji to join in on the girl talk. Neji just continued to close his eyes, letting the water melt his insides. What about your name? She has a pretty curvy body, Kiba added. A cheeky smirk appeared on his face. Lee's ears perked up at this. Oh yeah, your name is in my top 3, definitely. Have you seen that ass? Naruto replied, grinning a perverted smile. Lee did not like how they were talking about you one bit. Don't talk about my precious your name like that. If she were here, she would not like it one bit. Naruto and Kiba both glanced at Lee before turning and glancing back at each other, exchanging knowing, playful smiles. Oh, really? But she's not here. Which means she wouldn't even care if I did this. Naruto did a bunch of hand signs. Sexy jutsu! There, sitting in Naruto's place, was a raunchy your name dressed in only a small bikini that barely covered anything. The rest of the boys in the hot springs openly gawked. Even Neji opened his eyes to see. Naruto! Lee yelled, a heavy blush covering his entire face. He couldn't help but stare at your pronounced curves through his fingers as the Naruto youth slowly crossed one leg over the other and leaned back with a smirk. What's wrong, baby? Don't like what you see? The Naruto you purred, shooting Lee a doe-eyed, pouty frown. That did it for Lee. With a girlish squeal, he ran out of the hot springs and raced down the hallway, where he bumped into the real you in the hallway, only covered in a towel. He blushed and pulled the towel tighter around you as Lee fell flat on his face. Lee, what are you doing here? You questioned nervously, obviously still affected from what happened earlier. Lee got up and looked at you, the blush still evident on his face as his eyes trailed down to your body. Wait, no, Lee! Concentrate. Your name, I was looking for you, he stated, but you butted in before he had a chance to say any more. Lee, I'm sorry for what happened for me. I was doing so well, and of course I just had to mess up. Okay. Lee, I'm sorry for what happened earlier. It was rude of me to assume what you were saying if you hadn't meant that, and I'm so sorry for causing you any trouble. I probably overreacted a little, and can understand if you actually do hate me now. Also, regarding me liking you, I know you like Sakura, and you took a deep breath and tried not to let the tears building up in your eyes fall. And I'm happy to support you in any way I can. I just hope we can still be friends, you finished. Slightly out of breath from your little speech, Lee gave you an earnest smile before letting out a short chuckle. Your name, what I was trying to say back then was that I loved you. It's different from the way I feel about Sakura, because she is just a passing crush. What I feel for you is stronger. He then took your hand in his, pressing a soft kiss to your knuckle. Your name, last name. Will you be my girlfriend? I promise to protect you with my life. You blushed at his words before intertwining your hands with his. Was this actually happening? Was Rock Lee finally asking you out? Whether it was real or not, you didn't care. You just wanted to fully embrace the moment. Of course! Laughing happily as you jumped into his arms as he held you close to his chest, burying his face into your soft hair. It was then, and only then, pressed up against his body, that you realized he was completely naked. Pushing away from him, you scolded him. Oh my gosh, Lee, where are your clothes? Oops, I must have left them back over. You idiot! Ow! Oh my god, that was enjoyable. I love Lee. He's underrated. Anyways, this was written by ILikeLeeVeryMuch on Wattpad. Yeah, this was a little longer than my normal ones. Anyways, drink water, take your medicine if you have any, and eat 3 meals a day, even if they're small. Something is better than nothing. Also, if you have any requests, please leave them in the comments because, yet again, I suck at planning videos. Yeah, that's really all. Anyways, bye my lovelies.